Here are the three parts of question 1 on the 2023 Euclid Contest. If you'd like to try them out, pause the video now. If you'd like to see how to solve them, keep watching. To solve these questions, the only thing we really need to know is what an average is. The average of a collection of numbers is just the sum of those numbers divided by the number of numbers. So let's start with part 1. The average of n, 2n, 3n, 4n, and 5n is equal to 18. What's the value of n? Let's first translate this English sentence into math. Let's change the word is to an equal sign, and then let's apply the definition of an average. If we add up the terms in the numerator, we get 15n. 15 divided by 5 is just 3. If we divide by 3 on both sides, we get that n is equal to 6. So question 1 is usually very easy, and that was the straightforward way to solve it. But they usually have little tricks to make them even easier. So when you want to find the average of a collection of numbers, you mostly care about the sum of those numbers instead of those numbers individually. It doesn't really matter if you redistribute the numbers, as long as the total sum is the same, and as long as you have the same number of numbers. If you try to equalize all the values by skimming off the high values to the low values, it sometimes makes finding the average much easier. So in this case, we can just rewrite 4n as 3n plus n, and 5n as 3n plus 2n. Then we can take this n and that 2n and redistribute them to the first two values. Doing this doesn't change the total sum of the numbers, so we're not changing the average. But now, n plus 2n is just 3n, and 2n plus n is just 3n as well. So now we have the average of 5 copies of the same number. But the average of the same number multiple times is just that number. So we can simplify this expression to just 3n. And now we're back at 3n is equal to 18. We just divide by 3 on both sides, and we get that n is equal to 6. Let's look at part B now. We have that 2x plus y is equal to 5, and that x plus 2y is equal to 7. And we want to find the average of x and y. So again, let's just translate the English into math. What we really want to find is x plus y divided by 2. We have two equations and two variables, so we should be able to solve for x and y. Once we have x and y, we can add them up together and divide by 2 and get our answer. But that's a little bit more work than we need to do. We actually don't need the exact values for x and y. We just need to know what they add up to. So instead of isolating for x or y, let's try to create an equation that has as many x's as y's. And here, conveniently, if we just add the two equations together, we get 3x plus 3y is equal to 12. Dividing by 3 gives us that x plus y is equal to 4. So x plus y over 2 is equal to 2. Let's move on to part C. The average of t squared, 2t, and 3 is 9. If t is less than 0, determine the value of t. So again, all we need to do here is translate the English into math. I'm just going to add that t is less than 0 as an assumption. And then the average of t squared plus 2t plus 3 is just t squared plus 2t plus 3 all divided by 3. This is a quadratic equation with one variable. So let's simplify and move everything to the left. Let's multiply by 3 on both sides. And let's subtract 27 from both sides. So now we have that t squared plus 2t minus 24 is equal to 0. So we need to factor that quadratic equation. We need to find two numbers such that they add up to 2 and multiply to minus 24. 6 and minus 4 will do the trick. So this equation can be factored as t plus 6 times t minus 4. So either t plus 6 is equal to 0 or t minus 4 is equal to 0. That means that either t is equal to minus 6 or that t is equal to 4. But since we're assuming that t is less than 0, that only leaves us with the t equals minus 6 possibility. And that's our final answer. So that was question 1. Question 1 tends to be easy, as long as you know how to expand your definitions and remember things like solving quadratic equations, you should be good. But they're still good warm-up questions or good review questions if you haven't done math in a long time. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.